simply the best player in hockey. And what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Crease with Tommy C. And it's a Jack Malay Monday. Jack Malay of the Jack Malay Hockey Show on his channel. Make sure you go check it out. And the newsman, bluesman, Jeff the Huffman coming out of the St. Louis. I'm feeling like a radio guy today, guys. Woohoo!
You sound like one, too.
Yeah, I know.
Very professional.
You know what happened is somebody falsely accused me of rape, and I'm really getting into my profession. You know, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, pissed you off.
I'm mad. I'm focused. I'm not staying 3 feet away from my girlfriend, and I'm really focused on my career.
There you go.
That's what I think it is. Patrick Kane, 1 goal off of 30. You know, you say, hey, Patrick Kane's going to have 35 goals. Yeah, it'd be a good season for Patrick Kane. He's looking at 50, maybe 55. And if he goes on some ridiculous Gretzky-like tear, maybe 60. I don't think 60 is possible, but it's the halfway point in the season. You know, 30 plus 30 equals 60.
Still got 34 games left.
Yeah, it's true. It's a lot of hockey. A lot of hockey.
Time.
He always gets hurt in April, though. He loves getting hurt in April. It's a good time for him. And then he's like, well, we might not see Kane for the first round of the playoffs. And he's in like game 2. And he's ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, so.
It's a freak of nature.
He's a freak. He's a freak. I don't know. Maybe I should just have somebody accuse me of rape falsely. You know?
There you go.
You know, if I was...
Maybe that's what everybody needs to get their shit together.
Yeah. If I was Evander Kane, I'd be like, I'm getting ripped fucking off here. No one's outraged and shit, and I'm not scared of hell. He's not scared, too.
I don't think even being accused of rape is going to save anything in Buffalo.
The rape victims play there. Ooh, a rape joke. Oh, that's right. If you just tuned in now, you tuned to the wrong damn channel for PC bullshit. Oh God, I could absolutely care less. Let's start off with the great newsman, bluesman. How do you explain Kane's season? And
other than phenomenal?
Yeah, I know it's so hard. Like, all right, what are we gonna do? Drill over Patrick Kane some more? And we've always known he's good, but I mean, it's obviously he's brought his game up to another level. He was always like top 5 guy. Now he's the guy.
Right, well, I think compared to this year to years past, he looks 100% focused now.
I think that's it. He's
that's really all
like
it is.
Laser
It's
beam.
like last couple years, you know, it just seemed like he wasn't giving it 100%, and now it's just like he's going balls to the wall.
I tend to agree with you. You know, he does play a sort of cherry picker's role, Patrick. Now I'm thinking I got Patrick Kane in the brain. Jack, he does play sort of a cherry picker's role. That can be a little monotonous if you're not getting the puck and things aren't, you know, going your way, and maybe you're not feeling it.
Third in the league in plus minus though.
I mean, he's just doing everything right. Is this you think this is a case of Pat not being focused, maybe being a little mature? I saw this with Alexei Kovalov. When he started to mature more in Pittsburgh, it became more of a factor. Do you think that's something to do with it, Jack?
Yeah, I think he's laser focused and he's much more mature. And it's funny you bring up the lazy thing. I remember when they played Vancouver in the playoffs, like his second or third season. I think it was Alex Burrows said he was the worst player 5-on-5 in the entire NHL. But I think he's finally just figured out how to, because he's got so much skill, and he finally figured out how to work within the rules of the game nowadays and maximize his scoring potential, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, I guess, you know, this sounds kind of stupid, but maybe, you know, he's obviously filled with skills. His talent seems to be almost limitless. But, you know, I've seen some pretty gifted guys over the years. The guy who always pops in my head is Stéphane Richer, a guy that I think could have been a Hall of Famer. You got to have the gifts, the genetic ones, and you also have to have sort of the will. And the one guy I can think that had both was Wayne Gretzky. He had the will and the genetic gifts. He didn't even do
Richer had a drug problem, didn't he?
I don't know. It wouldn't shock me. I mean, he was, when he was playing for the Devils, when he was on, he was very, very dangerous. You know, a lot like Kovalchuk, to be honest with you. Very dangerous, but there was times, I mean, he looked like a floater. You know, like he was waiting for it. Now, I would never say that Patrick Kane was a floater, but it's none of us have ever been in his position. None of us have ever had women throwing themselves like at us. None of us have had money like that. None of us had options and ways to have fun. And I a couple years ago when they were flipping out when he was getting drunk at a college party. What is he doing there with those young women? Well, they're his age.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but that's something you do have to come. Do you want to be good or do you want to be great? Do you want to be a legend? And I think that has, and he certainly has the talent. So maybe this, unfortunately, kind of kicked his ass in gear.
Do you think when it's all said and done, he's going to be the greatest Blackhawk ever?
No.
No?
Bobby Hull. Well, it's tough with the generation. Bobby Hull was awful good. Golden Jet. Did he have the talent? Probably not.
Patrick Kane wins a scoring title and Hart Trophy this year. He's got 3 cups. He's got a Conn Smythe. That's pretty impressive.
Denny Savard, was he better? Yeah, Savard and him have a lot of similarities, actually. Short players that really could move the puck. Although Savard could... Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of similarities there. But, I mean, if I'm thinking of Denny Savard skating in my head, and Patrick Kane's a lot more fluent, as good as Savard was. So, yeah, probably. Now that I'm thinking about it. What do you think of that, Jeff? The greatest Blackhawk of all time? We talk about a lot of great players come through that system.
You got Bobby Hull in there.
That's the only thing.
But, I mean, Kane's got, what'd you say, about 12 years left?
Yeah, at least. Let's see, he's 27?
27.
So he could play to his 37. Yeah, so he could have great players.
If he stays healthy.
Yeah, and he's not like he gets hit a lot either. I mean, he could be one of those Yager guys. It also depends on how bad he wants it. I get a prediction. That motherfucker's gonna be married by this summer. I'm gonna make sure because that would be the move if I was his girlfriend. You're laughing at me, but this is the way the world
put
works.
a ring on it, man. Yeah.
Exactly. But his girlfriend's probably like, hey, I kind of stood by you. Maybe it's time to get. You know what he's gonna say? Fuck yeah, I ain't getting in trouble again. Fuck. There you go.
Or he knows he can get away with it now.
You know what I'm going to put in this job? I know, just the man. Appear the Finnish news flash, Pustinen. I am commanding you as a Point fan to find out about all his if he's going to put a ring on it. Everybody stay. I want to be notified immediately on all Patrick Kane's marital moves. Let's say hello.
Anything you can dig up on Patrick Kane, like what kind of toothpaste he uses.
Yes. I want to know. I don't know how he got out of that with the thing. Because you figured I know he didn't do anything wrong, but you still got hey baby, I believe you. I know you didn't do anything. The rape kit didn't come up with anything. What the fuck were you doing at fucking 3:00 in the morning in your apartment with that broad, you dumb motherfucker?
Still got some explaining to do.
Yes, you got some explaining to do. Pens, vlog, post, the man, the myth, a legend. I got to give him a huge plug. He just recorded a show near and dear to my heart. I think it's Mob Stories or something like that. Click on him and click on him and sub him. I know I'm going to say this guy's name wrong. John Alante. I know I'm screwing up his name. This is a guy that grew up in Brooklyn, and he ended up being a sort of a right-hand man of then Gambino boss, John Gotti Jr. And he recently wrote a book calling him out. He flipped the government side, and he's actually living in Brooklyn, which is not in the witness protection program, after serving a pretty long jail sentence in Brazil. And Penn's vlog got him for an interview.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
From what I understand, John, I want to say his name correctly. It's like Alante, and I just watched it. The bizarre thing is I've just watched 12 interviews with him, and he's calling out John Gotti. Actually goes out, John Gotti Jr. says he would have snitched. He had a light. Yeah, a light. That's his name. He's actually not of Italian descent, so he couldn't be a member of La Cosa Nostra, but he was a pretty close associate. And he says that John Gotti Jr. was about to snitch. He had the paper on the table when he was a snitch. So yeah, you really got to check that out. So everybody, everything. And then the A Train says, "Fuck Huffman." Oh yeah, fuck him. What?
Cool. Cool.
Why? What'd you do to him, Huffman?
Beats me. Yes, existing.
A light, yeah, a light. All right. Of course, what we all want to talk about, John Scott. John Scott. I got something here. I want to put this. I found this. I'd heard of these guys before, Puck Junk. And I'm going back there after I read this because it looks like they have writers that I can tolerate. Because this particular writer, I think his name is, I have to open up the damn page, Sal Berry of puckjunk.com. He wrote this. Scott's trade was a vindictive move by the Coyotes, but it also tells us fans where we stand with the NHL. Neither the Coyotes nor the league respect their wishes because what the fans want, who they choose to vote for or root for, really does not matter. That shot from the league hurts more than a John Scott haymaker punch. This is an excellent article. It is called John Scott Trade is a punch in the face for NHL fans. Jack, where are you coming from with this in the John Scott situation?
I agree with that statement completely. To me, it's initially it was kind of about John Scott the person, and now I think it's kind of exploded into this bigger argument that the NHL just keeps pissing on its fans years after years. They keep telling the fans what they want to see, and the fans the one making all this happen, putting down the money, watching the games, and it's not about John Scott to me anymore. It's about the NHL's control issues and identity issues. That's what this is all about to me.
It's funny.
Just remember, it's not the NFL.
No.
It could be the NFL. It could be worse.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it reminds me of another particular sports entity. It reminds me of the WWE. Like we're trying to control who your superstars are.
And
who
yeah,
you
exactly.
Like. And for at least with the case with Vince McMahon and WWE, he knows how to promote and has had success. The NHL has always been, just out of the realm of Bush. Only I would say in the last 10 years did the cameras looked really good. Have it even touched what the NFL has done with their presentation and the NBA and Major League Baseball? They're only getting there now. I mean, you couldn't even get them on public TV, even if you lived in a major city like in New York. You had to have cable or some kind of thing like that. This team, they're panicked about John Scott. These people don't know how to promote their own product. They have it, and this goes long before Gary Bettman.
It's one player.
Yeah, he's one guy.
He's one guy. What's the big deal? I don't get it.
There was two ways to handle this. There was change the rules and look ridiculous, or there was change the rules, look ridiculous. Or there was just embrace it and go with it. And if you didn't like the results, change the voting next year.
Yeah. Change
the voting next year. Jeff, as far as like the Coyotes or Don Maloney, who I hate, I'm getting to the point where I hate this guy. This idea that, and I think this is a spit in the face too, where they keep calling fans conspiracy theorists or just acting completely shocked by the whole scenario. How do you take that from Maloney? What do you think? I don't know. Let's see if I can phrase this question correctly. I mean, I without leading you. I mean, how does that make you feel when Don Maloney looks in the camera and says, "I don't know what you guys are talking about"?
Reminds me exactly of the NFL. That's exactly what it does. Run and hide. Run and hide. Try to cover it up.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. And here's the thing, too, and this was mentioned in this particular article, and I'm going to go back to this writer, Bailey or whatever his name is. I don't know. I can't remember anything from page. Perhaps even more insulting is the NHL told Scott that the league would pay for he and his family to go to the All-Star games as spectators. All right. This is what that's really repulsive. And here's the thing, I'm getting a little shit on Reddit. We don't even know if he's not going to be there. The NHL hasn't said anything. That says fucking everything. That's guilt move. They know they're fucking this guy. They know this fucking this guy. And I saw him interviewed today for the St. John Ice Caps. He's a decent human being and he wants to play. And I thank God he hasn't backed off. He has a backbone. He's more than the men that started this whole thing. And he shows he has a sense of humor himself. I don't think John Scott's so stupid to know this wasn't a joke to start with, but he embraced it.
Right.
He should be promoting the game. He knows more than these dumps. I mean, I hate to quote the people that started this, Greg Wyshynski and Jeff Marek. Jeff Marek, my wrestling fucking smart hero, no longer. The NHL treated this like cancer.
Yeah.
Like this is like some kind of cancer. You've had fighters in the league since the beginning.
Yeah. Something they're trying to hide or cover up or something.
It's like, you're
They're
not
embarrassed.
Only, are you embarrassed to me? The guy that's giving you money? I pay for Game Center every year. I buy crap. You think I'm a bad person? Is that what you're saying by benching Scott? You know, if it's so disgusting and repulsive, why are you allowing these guys in the league? Sean Thornton still plays for the Florida Panthers. It's repulsive the way these guys take the most. They have an extremely dangerous job. It can end in a concussion if it's bad enough. You make tons of money from them, and you won't even put them on display. They're like the redheaded stepchild that you bring out that does like, magic tricks and shit, but nobody really likes him, so they put a ball and shade on him in the attic afterwards. I mean, it's what the fuck? What do you think of me as a fan? And that really bothers me. And speaking with Shinsky took a lot of heat over this, and rightfully so. And he what he says he's never not took responsibility for this. All right. Yes and no. When the heat started up, he made an X-Files satire talking about the conspiracy theories. That article was blasted in the comments. Then he came back and he says, yeah, I'm owning this. Don't worry about it. But let's not do the finger pointing thing because it wasn't mean-spirited. I don't believe that. Do you believe that, Jack? I
don't believe that.
I don't believe it for a minute.
I don't think it's, as far as conspiracy theories, I don't think it's that far-fetched. Bob McKenzie reported that the Coyotes in the NHL both asked him to stand down, and he said no. Bob McKenzie also reported that Mark Bergevin didn't want him as part of the trade, that Maloney insisted on it. So why is Maloney trying so hard to get rid of John Scott when he could just send him down to his own AHL team? I don't think it's all that far-fetched, and
it's not that really ridiculous.
You can see through it. You know what I mean? Well, it's so freaking obvious.
Here's the two ways where it goes beyond the realm of this conspiracy. The offer to Scott and the fact that the Montreal Canadiens are making no effort to do anything, and the fact the league doesn't step in and say, hey, we're putting all this conspiracy bullshit to rest. No matter where he plays, he's going to be in the Pacific Division captain. End story. Mm-hmm. And then the teams can go by. You voted for him, the fans. You voted for him. We're going to honor that. But after that, he's going to go where he goes. That's up to this. This is a business. And that's something Maloney said. He goes, I don't know what you're talking about, but John's a big boy. This is a business. That's not, wait a minute. Come on. Even the sentences don't make any sense. You say it's, you say the one thing like, hey, there's no truth to it. I thought this was a good move for the team. And you say, John, because people are angry about the way John was treated. And then you go say, well, this is just a business. This is a business. He's got to be a big boy. Come on. No, I'm not quoting him exactly. What do you want, Kazar? You root for that rotten fucking team that was complicit in this shit?
I was going to talk about John Scott, but right before I clicked the button to call you, I had an epiphany.
What's that?
Is that the word, epiphany?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I had like a realization.
Yeah.
I realized I am never going to see my team win a Stanley Cup.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Let me explain why.
Why?
Because now I'm seeing the Blackhawks and how good the Blackhawks are. We're never going to win because of two reasons.
Yeah.
Number one reason, our management is shitty and corrupt and racist.
Racist.
I'm not going to go over that.
Okay.
Second reason, and this just may be me, but it's money. When there's teams like Montreal and Winnipeg, they can't afford to go on losing streaks. They can't afford to have their team finish last because they need to fill the stadiums. People want to see them win.
Wait a minute. The Montreal Canadiens have money problems?
No. I'm saying they want to sell tickets.
Oh.
Do you think as many people are going to watch if they're losing?
Not with those prices. No, maybe you're right.
Well, look, because when I said in the chat that the Blackhawks are spoiled, everyone was saying I was whining, and I didn't mean to come off like that.
What are you?
I'm saying
I feel like
they went on long periods.
Who does he sound like, Jeff? He sounds like he sounds like Bill Clinton after he found out about Monica Lewinsky.
No, look, I'm actually depressed. Like,
why?
I'm physically depressed.
Who cares? It's just hockey. Stop being a bitch.
Well, I want to see them win a cup.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't want them to see. I want you to be miserable for life. First of all, it's much better for this channel. Second of all, it's funny. I don't care if they ever win. I already
Jeff
got
wants
my.
to see his team win too.
What does that say? Rangers fan have a what? Hold it up higher, you big dope.
Have
Have- Well, we have something common in your team. You both lost 5-2, the superior team. That being the Capitals and the Blackhawks. No, you're not going to beat those guys.
Never gonna beat those guys.
No, not with guys like PK Subban.
We can't have a rebuild.
No,
We're never gonna rebuild.
no. You got a bunch of dummies.
Okay. Also, I had a question.
You know what? I think the only thing you can say as a Montreal Canadiens fan is at least I'm not a fucking Toronto Maple Leafs fan. I think that's the best you can do. You can always find a local Toronto fan and goof on them, and then they're the best. Sort of like the Islander fans. That's all they got. It was like maybe a win here and there every season. What's it like being an Islander fan? Probably not fun.
I had a question
Sure.
pertaining to John Scott.
Yes.
And like on yesterday,
Yes.
I know I made fun of your team. I said I was going to eat grapes and shit on the logo. And
Did you do it?
I just want to be serious. No, I didn't do it.
Okay.
I just want to be serious for now.
All right.
So I'm going to say a story.
A story.
Yeah, a story.
You better hurry up. You're boring the fuck out of me.
Okay, fuck, I'm going to leave.
All
you
right,
can
good.
blow me up.
No. You didn't even do that good a job.
Let's hear the story.
Because I'm serious now.
Oh, why? Okay, then spit it out. Spit it out. I don't got time for your emo-ness, but go ahead, spit it.
Okay, I don't want to see the story anymore.
Oh, God, you really are fucking. All right, you know what? You earned it. Fucking Piers in the chat. Wine.
Was he was talking about grapes?
Yes. Speaking of grapes, you had an issue with grapes. I want to hear your fucking side
Lead
of the
in.
story.
Yeah.
No, you go ahead.
I wanna hear your rebuttal.
Because we'll plug your video too in the same time. That you had an issue with grapes.
I just couldn't believe of all the people in the hockey media world that would not come out and defend John Scott. It would be Don Cherry.
Sure.
That blew my mind. The guy for years that pimped guys like Bob Probert for protecting Steve Yzerman and McSorley for protecting Gretzky and the Domies of the world. And I remember when the Penguins played the Red Wings, I believe it was in 07 or 08, and everyone was all about Crosby and Malkin, and Graves was always talking about the third and fourth line guys like Gary Roberts. He was always plugging the laborers, the third, fourth line guys. And I just couldn't believe that he would throw Scott under the bus like that and blame the fans. That just irritated me.
Well, he really didn't throw Scott on the bus. I think
he threw the fans. He threw all
the fans on the
on
bus, and I think he feels bad for Scott because he does respect those guys. All right, let me defend Don for a second. First of all, I don't think Don understands social media. I don't think he knows who Greg Wyshynski is. I don't think he understands this. I mean, he knows it was a joke on some level. I don't think he's talking about you and me. Do you think Don Cherry knows what a troll is or what trolling is or the whole internet phenomenon behind trolls?
Probably not.
Probably not. He's talking about those guys, and he's 100% correct. If you started this off just to fuck the system because fuck John Scott, and that's what I'm talking about with Greg Wyshynski and being mean-spirited. I do believe this has started in a mean-spirited way. I do.
Yeah,
I've seen enough
absolutely.
of it coming. I've seen enough of that shit, and then Greg denies that, but he also employs Ryan Lampert. And I've seen enough hateful shit. Greg does it via satire, and Lampert does it directly, which makes him more of a man, if you ask me. It does it directly. That type of vitriol, hate, whether it's being hidden in satire or being told right to your face if you're a fucking idiot fan, right? That type of fan that thinks that Puck Daddy shit's funny, that actually laughs when they read that stuff, that's who started this shit. The Reddit folks, from what I understand, have a good relationship at our hockey on Reddit. Those are the guys that I think he's talking about. But he doesn't know that from us because he's not in that world. He's 82 years old. So I'm going to give Don a pass. And I think the way he remember, Don looks at it as a player. I remember what he said in the scene. He said 4 players upended, 4 families upended. He's been traded before. It sucks.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way he was. If you could just give him a pass on that. If you take him at his word, you're 100% correct. It's an open vote. Why don't you throw the NHL under the bus like they should have? The NHL is the one screwing him. You know.
So if he had specified which
I
exact
think so. I know what
fans
he. I just the
talking
way I
about.
looked at it is, and I'm giving him a break because he's my hero. That's the way he was like. He's talking about the guys that actually think Greg Wyshynski's funny.
Right.
And Greg Wyshynski, I mean, he went on there because, everybody's running around pointing fingers. And then he goes on the rest of the thing and starts pointing fingers at everybody. And now the NHL, the NHL, the NHL, the NHL. And why did he start this whole thing? Because he hates the NHL. He hates those general managers. He thinks he should have that job. So he wanted to fuck the system. It's like they were being the class, they even said it themselves, they're being the class clowns. The only difference is they want to be the teachers. So that's the way I see it. And I think, Jerry's looking at it as like, you imagine getting traded for this bullshit? He knows the NHL screwed him. I think the only criticism I have is, why don't you call out the NHL too for allowing this? Why don't you call this freaking conspiracy what it is? Why don't you call out the Coyotes? Why don't you call out the Habs? You're always calling out the Habs every other goddamn time.
Yeah. He never pointed out the people that actually made the trade.
I don't think he knows the difference. I think he just says fans did this, so it's fans. I mean, it's me reading into it. I get that. I'm just going by what I know about people and how I read him. And it's bizarre because he's always saying, you know what's wrong with Team Canada? They don't have enough grinders after they win the gold medal,
Right. Yeah.
So I don't think he was shitting on John as much as he felt bad that he was humiliated in this manner. And I think it's his perspective. You should have known the NHL was going to fuck you. But that's not true, Don. What do you think it is, Jeff?
No, I think he said it perfectly. I mean, he doesn't understand the social media world. He's fucking 80.
He's 80 years old. He's an old man. He's fucking 80. I think that's hashtag he's fucking 80. Give him a break. And that was another guy. That was another guy Wyshynski couldn't wait to bash. And Don Cherry, he's trying to fucking take the high ground now. This is what the fans want. Well, you know what? Yeah, here's what happened. I believe this, and I'm basing this on the comments in my sections with the John Scott video. Started as a joke, and then people started to realize, and of course, I took it as a, I actually took it as, this is an opportunity, Too bad the NHL doesn't think like I do. And other guys started thinking, I love these guys. I like John Scott. And I think towards the end, people started doing it because they really wanted to see John Scott and maybe give a nod to the Forcer. And John's been on a lot of teams. John's been on the Blackhawks. He was well liked. Yeah. So I think it became, give the guy a break. Who cares? It's just a stupid game anyway. It's 3-on-3. It doesn't mean anything. Jeff, you going to watch the game? I was going to discuss a possible protest right now.
Well, maybe.
What do you?
Maybe.
You
I wanted to see John Scott to see how he looked out there with the guys like Kane, Jamie Benn, Tarasenko, all them.
Jack, you're on record saying you're not going to watch the game.
Nope.
Still? What if John gets there?
If he's there, if he gets on, I might even buy a John Scott jersey just for the hell of it.
I'm going to run this by the people in the chat right now, and because Dave recommended this. I want to do one of two things. I want to cut a video encouraging people to stream it so they don't get the rating.
There you go.
And maybe we can all come in here and watch it together.
I was probably going to do that with the Rams in the NFL.
Yeah. Just do a thing like we are encouraging you to illegally stream the game for a protest for John Scott.
Create some fake accounts or something.
I'm not going to stream it. I'm not going to do that. No. Fuck that. I don't get the balls to do that. Somebody else wants to do that. But I might stream it. And how could I do this? Nah, I don't want to. I don't know. Anybody got any ideas? How can we screw with the NHL if they follow through with this? Wyshynski thinks they're going to cave. I hope he's right. That could be the other thing too. They flew. They don't want him in there. They flew this balloon. It didn't fly, so they're just going to let him play now. It's entirely possible.
Yeah,
I know.
I can't believe we're doing like 20-minute shows just about John Scott. I never thought amazing. That would have happened.
Because this is the everyman story. This is Rocky.
It is
because people connect with him now. And I really noticed him when they screwed him on the 7-game suspension and hit on Louis Anderson, which was very simply a botched hit. And that's when I realized, wait a minute, they're using this guy for their own agenda. And they use this guy again to goof on the NHL. And maybe the NHL deserves goofing. Jen Merrick just followed me. If you're Jeff Merrick's brother, Jen,
oh boy,
unfollow. How about that? If you have any relation to the Merrick family in Canada, I don't want to know you. They're disgusting people. Absolutely.
The only time I got mad at John Scott is when he went after Phil Kessel in
I
that
don't get mad at that.
preseason game.
I didn't get mad at that at all. Kessel was
Phil.
being yeah.
Leave Phil alone.
Fuck Phil.
Phil
I'm
probably
fucking
took
Pure.
John Scott's food.
Pure, what's on your mind,
I
brother?
was pissed off about it.
I think we should
Pure.
have just voted every goon to the All-Star game, like every division, like Sean Thornton, John Scott,
Sean Thornton. There's only 2 left.
Rafi Torres,
Zach Ronaldo, Ryan Reeves.
just these guys.
We'll call the
That's how
one.
we
King.
screwed. That's how we screwed it. That's how we screwed it.
We could call one team the Oglethorpes. What would the other team be? What would the other team be? Call one team.
They'd be-
What's this? The Glats.
The Glat. Yeah. Oh, that's the Blats and the Oglethorpes. Goon All-Star game. Jesus Christ. You want to talk about not bad? Would you? Let me ask you something, Pierre. You're a young man. You like video games. Would you
Yeah.
play a Street Fighter style hockey game? Like, you get to choose fighters from the past and present, and they have special moves and finishers and ultras. Would you buy that?
Yeah, I've just beat up Crosby all the time.
What about you? Would you pick Zdeno Chara? I think I would go with the Stu Grimson, the Grim Reaper. And then if you went up, down, left, right, ABVA, he actually turned into the Green Reaper for, like, finish him. I'd buy that.
Might be a good idea.
Might be a good idea. All right, I'm going to go to bed, Pierre. You're doing a great job over there. Everybody. What's your... I never always say follow you, but I never actually give your what's your Twitter thing? Twitter. What's your
I'll
Twitter?
go to the chat.
I'm gonna look at you because we always talk. I want to give your name out because everybody should follow you, and because you're why you're always responding to me. How come I don't see your name? This is outrageous.
It's in the chat now.
Is it in the chat now?
Uh,
Yeah.
Skype chat.
All right. Now I'm gonna put you over. Look, this guy he gets NHLs a lot of times quicker than the other guys. It's quicker than the big guys. I don't know if it's because he's in Finland and they do everything in Finnish first and then it comes to English. Something doubts, but he breaks it all the time. He's a good guy to follow. You love this stuff, man. You want to be a reporter, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm talking you out of it, aren't I? I am. I told you they're bad people, and you're a good person, and I want you to grow up to be a good person and get and take over the Finnish media. I don't know. Maybe you can just stop
that's
watching
not
the Young
hard.
Turks. They're fucking you up too, by the way. The Young
Oh.
Turks. He likes the Young Turks. You know,
We're still
Chank,
friends, Pierre. Don't worry.
yeah. Hey, Chank's a tax cheat in the States. You know that? Did you know that, Pierre? Did you know that? He's running around wanting everybody's taxes and he doesn't pay his own. Maybe you should look into that. Shank.
Maybe,
He made a mistake. All these liberal guys, they're always getting nailed on tax fucking shit. Now, I got nailed for tax something in the army, but nobody cares because I'm a conservative. My country was founded by people that don't want to pay their taxes. Yeah, fuck Chank, Pierre. All right, let me get out of here. I want to go to bed. I'll talk to you later, buddy.
Yeah, see ya.
Follow Pierre Pastina in the chat. He's a really good guy. He's a smart kid, and he's broken stuff, or at least I don't know, got to the part of the internet where before anybody else does. I'm telling you, follow Pure, and then you gotta put retweets of Chank and how much he hates Donald Trump. I've been suffering through that. There's some really great hockey
You
stories.
take the good with the bad.
You take the good with the bad. But Pierre's a great
I'm
kid.
kidding.
We love him. He's a Point fan. How do you like that? I gotta give them names. Like, what should we call them? What should you call the fans? We gotta come up with a name.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Thanks a lot. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Last night in the National Hockey League, Carolina, they get blasted by the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-0. Something tells me that's not going to really do much for them. It's just the Carolina Hurricanes. Vancouver Canucks, Canyon, Long Island. The Vancouver Canucks guy called me up, told me how they're going to beat the crap out of them. My team beat them for a Stanley Cup final. Your team beat them for a Stanley Cup final, but you couldn't beat them last night. Nucks take the Islanders 2-1. Florida not doing as well as recently, and Tampa is heating up. Tampa takes the Cats 3-1. New York Rangers get owned. Owned.
Pretty
Ovechkin
much
has
everybody's getting owned by Washington.
Ovechkin has a look in his eye. You want to talk about focused? He's a different player over there. I think turning 30, realizing that it's half over, Got to get serious with this shit. Maybe running around being a fucking crown prince of hockey wasn't the best thing in the world. I don't want to end up like that very large toothed dope in Pittsburgh. You ever see Crosby's teeth before he broke them all? They're very big. Look like tombstones.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, you know what? I have no teeth in the middle. And he's got that big gap tooth. And he's like, you know what? I got to get phone. I'm going to grow up. I'm going to be a man. I'm going to win Stanley Cup. Maybe a gold medal one day. Although I don't want the Russians to win a gold money. The Montreal Canadiens, they were in Chicago. It would have been a big matchup, but the condom couldn't keep the Condon goal. It didn't work.
That was a good try.
It didn't work at all. It didn't work. Chicago beats the ever-living shit out of Montreal, and Matt Kazar got a wake-up call. He saw what an elite hockey team looks like. A little bit of surprise, Philadelphia Flyers, they take the Detroit Red Wings in the shootout. Oh, we didn't even talk about, because I didn't take notes today. What the fuck's the matter with me? I woke up and did a video and I didn't take notes.
Probably tired like I am.
Wright, what's his name? Wright hit Yarko, and now there's going to be a suspension. Yeah, he came to the right place. If you want accurate news.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Kings, they unsurprisingly beat the Anaheim Mighty Punks 3-2.
Bad.
They beat them. What did your buddy Kopitar with his nice new contract do last night there, Jack Malay?
I believe he had a goal and assist, and he's really turned it on last 20 games or so.
You know, Ryan Lampert says he's the best player in hockey.
I said, well, fuck, I got to agree with Lampert now.
You think he's the best player in hockey, really?
All around player, I don't know who's better.
Okay.
Maybe
That's fair.
Taves, maybe.
Yeah, Taves had an average start to the season. I think that explained a lot of.
If you're talking about pure offense, I'd probably go with Patrick Kane or Sagan or Ben, but all around defensive responsibility and stuff, face-offs, I'd go with Kopitar or Taves.
Well, he's also the advanced stats guy right now. Did you know that?
Yeah, they love that.
Yeah, they love that. You don't care one way or another, though.
Not really.
You
just
just
bring
want
me
those-
another cup.
You just want those Kings winning hockey games. 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Edmonton Oilers there in Florida to take on the Cats. 8 o'clock. Pittsburgh and St. Louis. Our good Jeff Huffman Blues take on the awesome power of Sidney Crosby, Yevgeny Malkin, and Phil Kessel. What's going to happen tonight, Jeff?
Actually, the last time the Blues played the Penguins, that was the first time Crosby scored against the Blues in his career.
Oh, well, there you go. They got a history, Crosby. They got his number no matter who's in net. Whether it's Halak or Elliott. Grant Fuhr was there the other night. He looked old.
Yeah, he's newly black.
Yeah.
He's newly black. Look at this fucking... Everybody thinks I'm making me racist. Go look at fucking Grant Fuhr in the early season. He's barely black. Now he's
always
black
been
again.
black, though.
I was like, I looked at it for like 5 seconds. I'm like, who the hell is that?
Grant Fuhr. Maybe
And then I remembered it's goalie night. I'm like, holy shit, that's Grant Fuhr.
That's Grant Fuhr. His skin got darker. Maybe he's into the tan thing. Yeah, maybe Grant Fuhr has got a lot of money. He's like banging a 20-year-old girl, and he's like, I gotta get tan. You know? He looks like all the fucking.
Maybe he's doing cocaine. I don't know.
He used to do cocaine, I heard. Grant Fuhr, one of the best goalies ever. Ever. A little underrated because he had some, I don't know, drug problems or he's a backup for a while, but he really was gifted goalie.
Did you see the other night Elliott was wearing a Curtis Joseph mask?
Yeah, I thought that was cute. And Cujo. I think Cujo was overrated. I know that's going to be a real sin over there. I thought he was a good goalie. I don't think he was a great one. That's just my opinion. Sort of like the way I feel about PK Subban. You know what I mean?
Huh?
Does that bother you? How come I can't get a reaction at you? I'm fucking busting his balls.
Doesn't bother me.
You gonna take a big grapey shit on my Rangers logo because I said that?
No, I actually like the Rangers.
Yeah. Some guy wrote me today. 32 points in 46 games or something like that. 44 games or whatever. I think he's talking about Subban. He's like, make a video, you fat fuck. Yeah, I will. He's a celebrity player. How's that, Grant? So what? He's an all-star. That's it. He's not a legend. He's treated like a legend. He's an all-star. He's a celebrity player. 10:30 late night game. Ottawa and San Jose to take on the Sharks. You guys got anything else before we say goodbye to the good folks?
I like how you just completely no-sold Colorado, Winnipeg, and well, I get you no-selling Buffalo and Arizona. I get that one.
Yeah, I really did. I'm having one of those nights.
Yeah.
I didn't take any
feel ya.
notes. Now you can tell. You can tell I really sucked today. I know. I made those other. I just was really distracted. You know, I woke up. I went to sleep, and I don't know. I was just being lazy today.
There's a lot going on.
I didn't put any job resumes either. Maybe it's a wake-up call. I really just fucked off today, the whole fucking day. That's disgusting.
You haven't been accused of rape, so
I think that's what I need.
It's always good.
Somebody accused me of rape. You know, call the Greg Wyshynski hotline.
yeah, just have Andy go to the German police and just.
Maybe I should
Have a-
call in my own fake rape threat, you know, or whatever. Hello! I've been raped! I can't get this guy out of my crease! Good job today, fella.